Hi. So I wanted to come on here really quick and talk about my experience using GLP-1s because I feel like a lot of people have a lot of questions and there's like a lot of misinformation out there. There's also like a lot of fear. I understand it because I've been there. Like I've been in a situation where I was fearful of using GLP-1s and I was also very much ashamed to admit that I was going to be using GLP-1s. And I just want to come here and say, listen, you don't have to announce it to the world. And also, if you feel like there's some type of shame behind it, there's confidential ways that you can go about it. Now, your doctors should be aware that you are engaging in using GLP-1s for weight loss or for controlling hunger, whatever it is that you're trying to do. I think that my biggest thing is I use GLP-1s through a private company, but I allow my doctors who are monitoring my overall general health, I do let them know what it is that I am doing because I feel like I think if you've seen my previous videos, you understand that I did my doctors dirty when I had gastric sleeve surgery and I didn't tell them at all. I told them after the fact. And I think after that I learned that I shouldn't be doing that. So if you if you had seen previous videos, then you understand why I feel a little bit more comfortable telling my doctors things now and why it's so important for me to like stick to that. It's because I didn't do it before and because I did my doctor's real dirty. So with that having been said, I really want to talk about my experience using GLP-1s, and this is going to be my experience and my experience only. This does not mean that this is going to be your outcome, and it does not mean that it's going to be the way that you experience things. I have a friend who just recently tried to use a GLP-1, tirzepatide, and they found out that they're allergic to it. And it was very unfortunate because this person was really kind of looking forward to having this tool available to them and only to find out that this isn't going to work for them. And it doesn't work for everybody. Just kind of like classes works for some people, but they didn't work for me. It was awful trying to take classes and trying to control that hunger and knowing that hearing people saying that they were successful in controlling their hunger with these classes and just doing things and knowing that I tried my hardest and it didn't work for me was one of the most frustrating situations for me. And it was the feeling of failure that ultimately got to me and made me do gastric sleeve surgery. And this is after I had tried taking Ozempic, and 3 months into taking Ozempic, it just stopped working. It literally stopped working. So let me tell you, normally without GLP-1s, like my life is just constantly getting thoughts of food. So I could be literally doing something. I could be typing, I could be working, I could be going to a friend's house, I could be traveling, and it's like food, 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 donuts, pizza, soda, ice cream. It was constant and it wouldn't stop. So they had put me on Ozempic to treat diabetes. Um, and I was taking it, and the first time that I took Ozempic and I was at work, I was I was in shock. I was in shock because this is exactly what happened to me. I took Ozempic and out of nowhere, I was able to focus. It was a level of focus that I had never experienced before because it took away all of that food thought and the food noise that was happening to me constantly. So as soon as I took the Ozempic, and I think I took it like on a Friday because I was scared that I would get sick from it. I took it on a Friday, and on Monday, I came to work and I was like hyper focused. I got so much work done. Like I was literally at my desk and I was like just knocking out reports, report for you, hi for you, meeting. Nothing bothered me. I think there's like a little bit that maybe like I didn't drink enough water, which is why I got a headache. But I was in so much shock at the ability to focus and not have that food noise in the background. It was amazing. It was amazing. So, with that having been said, I am on Ozempic for 3 months, and then they try to up my dosage, and it works a little bit. Um, I want to say by month 3, I started to notice that it started to lose its magic. Yeah. So by month 4, I'm still on Ozempic and I'm still taking insulin once a day and I'm still on Ozempic once a week. And I started to notice that I started to snack a lot more. I started to have the food thoughts a lot more. And instead of being able to focus, I was kind of like going back to my normal self, which is I'm at work, but I'm thinking about like, what can I snack on? What can I chew on? What kind of food do I have? What do I need to go get? And it started to come back with a vengeance. And I was like, I don't think it's working. So a lot of um people were just saying like I lost this much weight on Ozempic, and on top of that, it was making me really, really sick, yo. Like it was making me super sick. Um, so I decided I don't want to do this anymore. And if you had seen videos before this, then you will know that I had gastric sleeve surgery in December 2023. And so I chose to do that because I just didn't want to be on GLP-1s for the rest of my life. It was a great tool when it worked, but I needed something longer, stronger, and more permanent. Um, and so this is going to be controversial because a lot of people say that I shouldn't have felt like this. I came out of surgery and I was hungry. I was the level of hunger that I felt, but I couldn't eat was so frustrating for me because I am super hungry, but I can't eat and I can't feel satiated. But if I eat, I'm going to get sick, but I'm super hungry. It's almost like you have to take a bite like every 30 minutes, and I just like that was hard. That was a hard reality to come back to. Um and so I lost about 30 pounds from the weight loss, and then month 2.5 I stalled and I could not lose the weight anymore. I was stalled. My body was like, that's it. So my goal was to get down to 170 initially, and I was stuck at like 189 or something like that. And I was so upset. I was so upset because this surgery that they told me would work did not work on me. Yes, I lost some weight, but then I just stalled and I stayed stuck there. I could not seem to get it moving again. And I waited a couple of months. I waited about 3 or 4 months to see if it was going to work. If I was going, because they tell you that you're going to stall and then you'll go and start losing weight again. But it didn't happen for me. It did not happen for me. And I decided this isn't how I want things to go. I still have a goal to reach. And I'm not there yet. So I went ahead and I got on GLP-1s. And a lot of people will be like, you just had surgery, you got on GLP-1s. I sure did. I sure did. And this is not going to be everybody's story. Again, this is my story. This is how I decided to approach my weight loss journey. And it worked for me. It's not going to work for everybody. And I got on GLP-1s and I started to lose the weight again very slowly. I was on 20.25 millimeters, which is where I needed to be, or is it 25? Yeah, y'all, I get this confused. It's 25, I think. Um, and I basically just told myself like, there's no shame in losing weight. There's no shame in this at all. And just because this is not the conventional way that other people are losing it doesn't mean that this is wrong. It's just not the way that I thought it was going to go. So I get down to around 160 pounds and I'm like, okay, I think I'll be okay. So I get off GLP-1s and I'm still eating really tiny portions. And so let me just give you like an example. Like I could eat one taco and I will be full. And then on GLP-1s, I would eat like half a taco and I would be full. So there was like a big, huge difference. I'm cutting my foods in half. So um I tried to go to the gym. I tried going for walks. The weight stalled again and it just stayed stuck. Nothing was happening. So I told myself, no, I'm not happy with where I am. I'm not happy with these results. I paid so much money to have surgery. I'm not going back to the weight that I was before. I absolutely refuse. I was not happy with that version of myself. And I don't want to be there again. So I chose to go on GLP-1s again with a different company this time. And I lost about 20 to 25 more pounds. And so when I weighed myself, I was at 145. And then I think I stopped at 140, which isn't a terrible weight for me because I'm not that tall. And so looking at that and seeing that I had lost all of that weight and I was at a happy place for myself, at a healthy weight for myself where I wasn't diabetic or even pre-diabetic anymore, maybe a little pre-diabetic, maybe at risk of being pre-diabetic, but if I continue to be careful and lose the weight and maintain, I should be able to control this now. Losing 5 pounds versus losing 70 pounds is so much easier. And that's what I keep on telling myself. Every single time that anybody tries to shame me, or any single time that anybody tries to tell me that just go to the gym, just work out. That's your body. That's not my body. That's your way of losing weight. That's not the way that I lose weight. And so there's no shame in trying to do this in a different manner. There's no shame in getting those extra tools that you need. Hell, I had surgery and I ended up on GLP-1s. And that ultimately got me to my goal. Now, I'm not on GLP-1s anymore. I have stopped temporarily because I found out that anything above 25 millimeters is too much for me. And I didn't want to become, I didn't want to get in a toxic eating habit. So instead of doing that, I decided I'm going to control this by not taking GLP-1s for a couple of months. And if I still need to go back, I'll go back. But once I get in a routine, it it really does become a routine. And I'll snack like earlier. I'm gonna show you all what I was snacking on. I was eating these plantain chips. So I'm gonna show you all like what one normal plantain chip looks like. Oh my God, they're all like busted up and broken. Um, okay. So just to show you all, this is what one plantain chip looks like. Okay. This is what one chip looks like. Okay. So I'll probably eat like 3 to 4 of these and then I'm full. And that's my snack. And is it the best snack? No. But I'm not here to be perfect. I'm not here to pretend like I'm eating celery and green apples and green juice every single morning. I'm a human being at the end of the day, and I'm going to have cravings for things. Now, I eat protein and I eat chicken, fish, um, not so much beef anymore. I eat a lot of like poultry, um, eggs, and I get full off of that. And then I drink my water. I do have Powerade right now here, but it's diluted. So it's like I do half Powerade, half water, and it's just to give it a little bit of flavor to get away from that water that I'm constantly having to drink because it's boring. And again, I am human. And I have found out that a Gatorade is now too sweet, a Powerade is too sweet. So in order to tone that down but still be able to compromise, I do have about half a Powerade here, and that's going to be it for the day. Anything else is going to have to be water. I do indulge in having a sweets once in a while, um, because I don't feel like I feel like whenever I am on a GLP-1 and I limit my food intake, it really helps me cut back those cravings. And because I've been able to do this for a year and a half now, it's starting to become a thing where it's not existent if I'm not on GLP-1s anymore. I don't know how, I think I said that wrong. Okay, so because of GLP-1s, my brain has been able to get rid of that constant feed of food. Like I haven't taken a GLP-1 in a month and a half now. And I still want a snack, but it's not like an overwhelming feeling of where I lost the ability to concentrate because I'm thinking about food. Now I'm thinking about other things. Now I'm focused on things that I need to do for work, um, or for a task, or for any other thing. Like I am focused on that. And so it helps me get rid of all that food noise. And I think it was just a gradual thing where my brain needed to do that over a couple of years. I don't think this could be fixed in a couple of months for me. I think that if this is something that you can fix in a couple of months, good for you. I applaud you. I'm happy for you. I'm not a hater, but I'm a little jealous that this could happen for you in a couple of months. That's just not my story. My story is completely different. And I was talking to a friend about this earlier and about the side effects and the risks of taking a GLP-1 or taking any medication. To be completely fair with you, eating any type of food, something is always going to have a side effect. But would I rather be diabetic or would I rather have, for example, an upset stomach, right? So the upset stomach thing happened only for a couple of months and then it kind of went away, right? The diabetic thing, had I not lost the weight, it would have just gone gradually worse and worse and worse and worse. And it was getting worse for me. I was getting really bad. So I'll take the trade off. Everybody is at liberty to make their own decisions and take the risks that they want to take. For me, the risk was worth the rewards. Again, I'm not advocating that everybody should be doing this. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not even a mental health professional. But I will tell you that this is the way it worked for me. And just because this is what worked for me doesn't mean that you're going to go through that. I also have the privilege of having the money to do this. And I completely understand that. There's a lot of people out there that don't qualify for programs. There's the US system is so messed up because it's cheaper to give you drugs for the meantime. But in the long run, I don't think it is cheaper to put you on medication. I think it just takes a toll on every single medical system. I knew that about myself. I knew that I did not want to be on insulin for the rest of my life. So I went and had surgery and then I got on GLP-1s to lose the rest of the weight. And I'm on no medication now, nothing. Everything that I do now is just eating. I go for walks. And to be fair, because I hate exercising, I hate going to the gym, walks is what works for me. Um, Going for a walk and I put on my headphones and, well, my earbuds, and I just go for a walk, just get out there and do something. Now, mind you, I also live in San Diego, which is like the weather is good. It's not hot, it's not humid, there's not bugs everywhere. So there's, again, this works for me. There's several things that are combination here that work for me. And so I think that everybody needs to take a look at their lifestyle, what they have available, the tools that they can use, and make a decision for themselves, which is going to work for them. Because if this is what it's going to take for you to be healthy and be able to go out and have the confidence to go on a cruise or go to the beach or go to the pool or play with your kids, I think that it's worth it if you're not going to suffer severe side effects and if you're not going to be at risk of getting worse because of taking a GLP-1. Again, I'm not here to advocate for GLP-1s. I'm just here to advocate for you making your choices based on what works for you and to make sure that you advocate for yourself, because it is by design, the US health system is always going to take the cheapest route. And if that means that they're going to pay $59 for a class for you to attend, they're going to pay the $59, and then they're going to try medication which could cost, so much money, but at least it's not GLP-1s, right? Instead of, or it's not surgery. Um and so do what's best for you, do what you can afford. And if you're not happy where you're at, then seek other ways to do it. But I will tell you that um there are several ways to lose weight, and there are several I can't talk. There are several, oh my god, there are several approaches to losing weight that are going to work for one body type and one mentality type, and it's just not going to work for everybody else. If you're the kind of person that can take classes and win from those classes, I wish I was you. I wish I was you. And may every single ice machine that you walk into have ice. Mwah.